SEO stands for search engine optimization. Now, if you're not familiar with what a search engine is, that is a website that you go to, you have a search bar, you type in words to the search bar as in a question or a phrase of something you want to find, and then it tries to find results based on exactly what those words say in that order, as close as it can find, of course. And you actually are probably very familiar with a few different kinds of search engines. These are like Google and Bing and Yahoo. But something you might be wondering is, how does social media relate to SEO? Well, SEO actually isn't just for search engines, believe it or not. It is used very widely throughout social media as a way to get your content out to everybody else who it might be applicable to. One place that SEO is used very commonly is in an account bio, and this is across a ton of different platforms. In fact, most, especially the ones that are very common, platforms use this. When you go into your bio and you start typing stuff about your business and you put in your name and all that stuff, it's using SEO as a generalization of who you are to try to figure out, all right, where's the starting place? And then it will take the content, which we'll talk about just in here in a moment, to figure the rest out specifically. Now, the next place is also in your name. An example of this would be like an Instagram. Instagram is very commonly known for asking you to include some kind of a descriptive title for what you would be considered. So I would be considered like an Instagram marketer or social media marketing or social media coach, something like that. So I would put that in my name with social update. Another common place that gets used is if you have a title. So like YouTube, SEO will be used in the title, and that will be primarily where it's used on that post if it has a title. If it doesn't have a title, the next place where it would go for that post would be some kind of a caption or description box. The description or the caption box, as it is also commonly referred to, is the place where people can go, creators can go, to further explain or further describe or add more information to their post. This is also typically where links get put and where just kind of in general more information gets put for the user to be able to access and further explore the world of that creator. And I highly recommend using the description box because you can fit a lot of words in there, and having more keywords is better. What good is it though to know where SEO is used if you don't know how to use it? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. So, knowing how to use SEO. The first thing you need to understand about SEO is that SEO is basically just taking keywords, putting it through an algorithm that will decipher the keyword and be able to know who to put that out to based on their activity or based on things that they have expressly said that they liked. You still have to be able to find those keywords, and a great place to go find this would be from similar users, especially people who have been doing this social media game and been marketing on social media for a long time. The reason is because sometimes in different industries, words are not very common in a public realm and aren't very easily understood. So your predecessors on different platforms have come up with the language that has become common to the public. And knowing those words is the first step to understanding what words need to be used. Now, when you're actually writing the SEO, you need to write it as if a person were actually to read it. This serves a couple of purposes. The first one is to the algorithm that is actually reading this text. What it does is it gives them context as to what is actually going on, instead of it just being a list of keywords that it can read off of. Number two is because these were actually meant for people to read and to understand and to actually gain more value from. So if you break out of that, the algorithm may not necessarily go with what you're doing. And there is such a thing as too many keywords. If you use too many, like say 30, then you're going to start getting into keywords that don't necessarily have to do with your industry or your post specifically, but in kind of a general fashion. And one of two things will happen. Number one is that the algorithm will try to take all of these keywords and put it out to as many people as possible, and you'll wind up getting people who are looking at your content who aren't actually interested. And that really doesn't help you, because if the algorithm knows who to put it out to, it will continue to put it out to those people, and you will just continue to get more followers through that avenue. Number two is the algorithm will just get confused and will not know who or what to give this content to. And it will just simply not. So thank you so much for watching. And I want to know down in the comments, what is your favorite search engine? Which one do you commonly use? Personally, I just use Google. Pretty boring that way, but it gets me exactly where I want to go. Thank you so much for watching again. Have a great day.